All right, FightHype.com here with my man, Shawn Porter. Shawn, first of all, thank you for letting me tag along a little bit today. Welcome to camp. I appreciate you welcoming me in that heat. I always look forward to...
That was not my purpose. It's not my fault. Hey man, listen, you asking me right now, you know, where we want to do the interview at, wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Right now it ain't about me being comfortable. Right now it's about me keeping my mind on what I got to do, you know, so that means sleeping on the floor, sitting on the floor, sitting on the steps. That's what I do. I do whatever I feel like doing right now that keeps me in the mode of the fight.
Do you feel like you need that in order to just be fight ready?
It always comes. It always just comes. And I'm blessed because I never know when it's gonna come, but I'm always able to feel it and recognize it. When it starts to happen, I don't fight against it. I don't say, well, no, one more week. You know, it's something that just kind of happens in my mind and in my heart, and it just, you know, it starts to happen. And when it starts to happen, I just let it take control. And you know, it gets me through everything. It gets me through camp. It gets me through, you know, the hard workout we just did. You know, everything.
Do you feel like I know a lot of times entertainers, they say they become a different person. You know, Beyonce says she becomes Sasha Fierce. Like, do you feel like... No, I'm not even joking. She's Sasha Fierce when she gets on the stage.
Worst part about that is people are going to see this interview and be like, he didn't know that? Nah, I didn't.
No, they're not. You think so? They're not going to say that.
I didn't know that. I have seen that before. I believe it. Because it's some capacity what happens to me. I haven't named myself. I saw. I
don't know. You did have that wrestling character. So.
Yeah, I saw Deontay Wilder. He did an interview but he calls himself the Bronze Bomber,
right?
And he says that's who he is when he's in the ring. You know, so hey, when I'm in the ring, it's showtime.
Can you feel that take over though? Like, can you tell the change? And really,
you just know it's there. You just know it's there, and what I mean by that is I know it's there from the way my everything is just on another level. My senses, my you know, even my ears are sensitive. It gets to a point where I don't listen to certain music. I'm not in certain conversations when I hear people talk. A lot like you saw today, where you saw me walk away from everybody. Everybody's no problem at all. But in order for me to stay in my mode, continue to go through what I go through, in order to be there, it takes me separate myself from even, you know, my training partners who are there just to push me along, you know. And it all helps, you know. It all helps.
Has there ever been a time where that didn't happen, where you know you're getting close to a fight or whatever, and you're like, I'm not there yet?
I can't tell you the last time it did, if it did, especially not as of late. As of late, you know, I think we all call it momentum. That's what we kind of recognize it as, and so let's go with that. You know, the momentum that, you know, I carry to the ring is it's at such a high level that I know it and I know where I'm at, and I do whatever I got to do to get there.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Talk to me about Danny Garcia. Obviously, your opponent. I'm sure you know him very well, but just going back to the amateur years, do you remember much of him from back in those days?
Well, I'd rather skip through the amateur program because it may sound disrespectful with me, you know, saying that I didn't, you know, exactly know him. I obviously was well aware of him. He was, I think he took second or third at the Olympic trials, you know. So I knew of him, but I never paid close attention to him because we were in 2 different weight classes. So I've always known about Danny. Always, a lot of guys always, you know, thought he was one of the best guys in the amateur program, and you see where he is now as a pro.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever? I mean, as you turned pro and you started coming up through the ranks and everything, like, I mean, obviously he was at a lighter weight, but did you still kind of keep an eye on people around you?
I did. Not him specifically, man.
Right.
When I turned pro, I fought at 165 pounds in the amateur. So when I turned pro, we were coming to 154. No questions asked. And then once we made the move to 54, my dad saw how big the other opponents were that I fought, and he just felt that it would be best if we try to push ourselves to 147. I get there, and once I get to 47, that might have been 2012, 11 or 2012. That's when, no, I'm sorry, like 2011. Right, at 2010 is when I won my championship at 154. So 2011 we made the move to 47. That's when I started to recognize who was at the weight class and who I might have to fight. Coming out Coming out of the amateur program, I just always thought I was going to fight Danny Jacobs as a professional.
Wow.
We fought 7 to 8 times in the amateur program from the time we were 14 to the time we both split ways out of the amateur program, you know, and now we're like brothers. So when I was turning pro, I always thought I was going to fight him. Man, get the revenge, you know, that kind of stuff. Then I moved to 47, and now I got to recognize who's at 47. At that point, Danny was still at 140. So I had never really paid attention to Danny yet and still. You know, I watched his fights, but I was never visualizing myself fighting Danny.
Right.
I was more so visualizing myself fighting Keith. He was on fast track, so was I. And I just knew we were going to collide one day, and we did. But once he started talking about moving to 47, you know, went right to him. And, you know, he was probably presented with a question about me. And, you know, and then he answered it, and that's what started it all. You know, so I've been wanting to fight Danny for a long time now.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is when did the desire really start? Because, I mean, I know, again, this particular fight, I know it just got announced a couple weeks ago, but it's been on the radar for a long time, at least for you.
Yeah.
So what is it about Danny that kind of made you say, I got to get this guy?
And it's a blessing because when he was moving up to 147, he got matched up with Robert Guerrero. But before he was matched up with Robert Guerrero, he did an interview saying that he thought I was tailor-made for him. And, you know...
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I just had every inkling in my mind and in my body said, whatever you think you can do or can stop me from doing, you're not going to be able to. And I kind of, like, let that manifest into the point where I really wanted to fight him. So, you know, fast forward, I knew that this fight was going to come, you know. Things have played its way out. The business has played its way out. And like you said, the fight was just announced, 6-7 weeks ago. But this is no surprise to me at all because as far back as December was when I started smelling it. Like, this might happen, you know. And maybe even before that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you pay attention to things that other fighters say? Because obviously you mentioned that he said he was tailor-made.
My dad told me.
Well, I mean, whether you see it or someone tells you about it, like when you do hear about it, does that kind of get not your blood boiling, but does that kind of pique your interest?
Normally it doesn't, but my dad, you know, he told me what he said, and then that day in the training session, that kind of was the thing. You know, we were training and everybody's, you know, kind of repeating that to themselves and out loud, and it kind of just became the thing. Yeah. And so once, you know, the team collectively we were all like, we can get this dude. Let's get this dude. That's kind of when it really started.
Yeah, that makes sense.